So what do you bring to the tea party? Or are you just gonna freeload? You could bring your Cuphead, I guess. But yeah. Or you could bring tarts. Or, you know, sponge cake. Anyways, you can bring something. Ice cream. So, just going back 5 years, Cuphead came out 5 years ago, which is mind-blowing to me. And it was a super hard game, and now we're finally getting the DLC in 2022. It's been delayed a few times. It's been, people assumed it was canceled, all sorts of stuff. And no, it wasn't. It was just, being worked on diligently by, I think it's MDHR. So we're finally getting the tea time and the tea tardy that was being suggested at what that was going to be one day arriving. And the real question is, does it still play, and does it sound and look like Cuphead? And that's a really easy answer for me, with a resounding yes. It still looks like a 1920s, 1930s game brought into the future being 2022. And it sounds like it was made then, but brought to the future. Let's just say that. And the insane difficulty is still there, even on simple. Oh my gosh. This game is painfully difficult to play. I struggled playing through the original, I have to admit, 2017, and I tried playing this and I got my butt whooped, because it's definitely the upper difficulty of video games, in that niche that some people really enjoy and some people really are afraid of. So I managed to get decently through this. There was a multi-jumping test stage. I was playing for like 3 to 5 minutes, which doesn't sound like a long time, but like when you're jumping for that long, you get tired and your reflexes get, dulled just because you've been jumping for so long. And then you get confused because like the game will purposely have certain patterns, like this guy will jump down near you, and then this guy will jump down near you, and you're like, oh wait, you can't react in time, and then you're gone. And you get like 2 or 3 hits. So that's how punishing this game is, to give you an idea. If you've never played Cuphead, you've never heard of it, you just randomly clicked on this video, and yeah, you easily get confused, tired, and you just stand in one spot, which is very bad in this game. And that's what I learned 5 years ago with Cuphead. Don't stand in one spot, keep moving, and if you aren't moving, sometimes it's good to wait a second or two, then start moving, because if you're not moving in Cuphead, most of the time you're gonna get hurt or die. So that's my best advice as someone that is not incredibly good at that, or at the DLC of this game. So then I fought one of the Blizzard bosses, the new bosses on the new island, and I got like halfway through the battle. I thought I was doing decently, and then I died, unsurprisingly. Just being bushwhacked to death by the boss. Apparently there's new charms, there's new weapons to aid you, and you'll really need that help, because this game is still super hard compared to, as I said, 99% of the games out there. Still stupid or super hard compared to the rest of the games in video game history. I just love how this DLC is like pretty optional. We've had some DLC in the last year or two. You sail on a separate island in this. You don't even have to do it if you don't want to, where you just play 100% new content, which is great. Unlike Back 4 Blood, where you play through like all the stages you're already tired of, you spend 100 hours or whatever on it, and then you have to go through those levels again to go through into portals to get you the new content from Back 4 Blood, which I really was not a fan of personally. So that's great that it's totally optional if you want to go to the island, and then you don't have to deal with the old stuff that you probably spent hours trying to painfully beat years ago. So there's also like a new playable female character, which is surprising I didn't bring it up sooner. Her name's Chalice, and she jumps a little bit higher. Other than that, I'm not sure how different she is from the other two Cupheads. But yeah, she's also usable in the original adventure, which is pretty cool. But easily, in like decades of gaming, I can safely say this is one of the best DLCs ever released of all time. Now, my biggest criticism with that said is like, apparently it's only an hour of gameplay, which kind of makes sense because if you think of the price, it's only $9.99, which is very reasonable for DLC. Other expansions can cost $30, or pieces of DLC, which you have to pay $10 here and there times 30, $300 or whatever. $10 just for a 1 hour session gameplay, like that seems pretty fair for such a polished product. So the only con I can think of is if you're tired of Cuphead, you don't like really hard games, this is not for you. I'd love to be better at this game, but I feel like I'd have to spend hours getting really good. I started to get good, but still such a tremendously difficult game that it's going to take time to get better unless you're naturally super talented. So I recommend this. I don't think I gave it a score. I would say, like, I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10 because I've been giving a few recently, but like I feel like it deserves it. This is a 10 out of 10 for DLC. I don't know if you ever see a DLC that's like so polished, feels like a natural progression or extension, I was thinking, to the main game. And yeah, like it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's just 1 extra hour. You can take up the chalice, as I said, and visit Inkwell Isle and get more of what you enjoyed of the base game. No filler, it's all killer, and you can keep dipping into the ink and enjoying it. So I raise my Cuphead at ye. Go find some ink.